Hey, this is a video for showing how to play the Shattered Fortress by Dream Theater. I suggest you get the tabs at ultimateguitar.net.com. Use the Guitar Pro tabs or some other tabs. I'm not going to do this note by note. I'm just giving some tips how to do the different licks and how to perhaps make the solo easier to play, finger positioning, etc. Now for starters, I don't have a 7th string, and this solo is definitely played with a 7th string. It's possible to play with a 6th string. You just gotta do some modifications. There's one note in the whole solo that you can play, and it doesn't really matter that much. You're gonna start up on the 1st fret then, because you don't have the 7th string. For the first lick, don't pick all the notes, just kind of gently float them up and do some soft picks, just downstrokes. Right, like that. Now the next notes, you're gonna do the first one with a tap and the tremolo bar. Instead of picking it like that. Same goes for the last note, so like that. And then there's simple sweeping. Sliding on the last one. Not too difficult. Then there's starting with the 3rd finger, just pulling off and then sliding on the last one. Try to hit the make it kind of a semi harmonic, an overtone with a half bend on the first one, then going down to the 6th fret on the G string with a kind of a dive bomb. That. Then there's some alternate picking, not too difficult, just learn the pattern. And then comes the 4th fret on the low B string. I don't have that, so I'm playing the open E, which is one tone and it's a half tone off the original, but it's so short that you can't really hear the difference. Slide it up. Slide in from above on this one. Half bend. Full bend. Now here comes one of the most difficult parts of the solo, at least for me. Sliding up on the 19th, down to the 15th, and take your pinky down with you. Now some triplets. The tabs say different things, but what I ended up with was like that. Now the 2 last notes here are also the 2 first notes of the next tapping sequence, so those were kind of difficult to get started with on the next part of the solo. So I figured I'd do a tap slide on those notes instead of playing them with my left hand, like that. Because then I have both my hands in position for the next tapping sequence. And 8th fret on the A string or the 13th fret on the E string. Then there's some alternate picking. And a bend on the edge. It's just a matter of practicing the notes, learning the pattern. Then comes this thingy. You want to have a wah pedal for that. I don't have one. At least not on my guitar port. So also for the next lick, these are just alternate picking, Kirk Hammett-ish. So just do that fast with a wah, ending off with a full bend on the 16th, half bend on the 17th, whatever you want. The next lick is just learning the pattern, playing it a lot of times. It's not really difficult. You could play it as an arpeggio, or like I do, you play just on the E string and onto G string. Like that. Then comes some triplets. Right. And then one of the harder parts again, with an arpeggio. First off, not that hard. Some 2 pull-offs. Use the 2 pull-offs to kind of make yourself ready for the arpeggio. And then again, now the 2 pull-offs are higher up, and then you might do as most of the tabs say, the arpeggio up here. I think that's, at least for this guitar, and it's such a narrow space, I think it's easier to move the arpeggio down a little. You play the same notes. No. So, and those are the same, just you play in the same position as the first one. You don't have to think that much. Like this. So instead of starting on, like on the first one, you start on this. Instead of ending up with, like on the first one, you end off with this. Like that. And then comes some alternate picking. Now again, that's a modification for my 6th string on the end, because I don't have the 7. That's also an easy part. Now then, the bluesy stuff. It's kind of a nice breather in the solo. You get to relax a little. This part.